Maybe it's against the rules to clean up the blood. Who knows?
なんだ、いえ、フィーヤ、ロテとやりかきクソできた。と食いてえゲルだ。ユラ、ブラーデ、ペアとカイザムって、カイザムとアイソー。フィーヤ、アイサムって、フィーヤ、チネセキタとトラ。ゼルガンって、アンダーゼルガン。 ヤーイズガッチクルソーカイザーゼスタルペラ老体リスラ関係かけてしたすわれアルムキエルトチギサンテキタアルム浮きわせんクユリエ押してキルタチエクグギリス アガイカイザムより生き落ちずてくごユラカイザムチジストズイわくれたしよりこうだな
Sand people are an interesting bunch. Is their den? Sorry to ask so much of you. Whatever. Yeah, they're not narrating. Forget it. It's Rafira. Let's move. No save point? Sort of is counting on the save point to heal me, at the very least. Medicinal herb. Alright. So there's gonna be a lot of wolves, but we got a lot of people. Gonna have us fight through waves of wolves before you come down and fight us there, Chief Wolf? Dick thing to do. So yeah, I hope you weren't having too good of a day. The game just decides to, you know, make you depressed and all. That is also Nier's job, killing shades. Sort of what he gets hired for routinely. God, he's still up there, huh? No urgency or anything there, buddy. You know, they say the king's in danger and I'll guard the king. I don't think the king can actually die in this battle or anything. I don't know if they can help at all either. I like jab them a little bit, but Kaine, Emil, and I are the ones doing the majority of the damage. Are we not finished at this point? I mean, Jesus. Oh, fuck! That was rude. This wolf guy. The camera zoomed in on him that I have no control over. He can just roar like that, huh? Okay. Ow! This wolf, I swear. You know, maybe if you'd been down here helping your pack... Just a thought. I also can't help but feel like the wolf's targeting me and not the king so much. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong about that. You know, clearly it's a wolf targeting the king. The wolf knows I'm the main character. Well, that's it for the wolf. Which, in case you've been keeping track, is the loyal Cerberus. Ding ding! Haymaker! Through the eye, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, this. Well, there he lays. And we got the loyal Cerberus key. Poor loyal Cerberus. So you may have noticed she actually spoke in that last cutscene. I don't know what that was about. She had no voice and no family. I don't know if that was supposed to be like her internalized thoughts, or if she was mute by choice, and during this moment she decided that, you know, like whatever was stopping her from speaking, you know, she needed to speak at this moment. I don't know if it was like a... she was mute because of shock. I don't know what it was about, but whatever.
I believe that young Fira was perfectly content with the life she had. Of course, does this not sound like what she would say to you? She was terribly proud of her king, and now you must do all that you can to honor her memory.
Ah, Dada. Doris Kyo Daito Ichi Laeru Kaizamuchi Tada Kede Ji
Is that another infernal rule?
Uranu Peruato Ri Arterua Chioaru Anda Toshidoshi Arterua Roa.
Okay, the poor king. I know, but there's nothing more we can do for him. A sad truth indeed. Sorry, buddy. Let's see if the Junkkeep kid sent us a letter. Nothing more we can do. Just time to move on. And what have we here? Iron ore. I mean, I need crystal, but whatever. Oh there, getting on. Yeah, Northern Plains, I think. Once we've done the Junkyard Kid thing, I'll start focusing on all the side quests and look up where I need to grind for these stupid fucking resources and the fishing guides and all that. What fun. Val pointed out that the open worlds like this feel very empty, and I tend to agree with him. Part of that, of course, is the game's budget, which it did not have a lot of. In case that wasn't painfully obvious due to the text-based dungeons at one point. Which, actually, I need to go back to for a weapon at some point, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Actually, that one's not even a text-based dungeon. That's a legitimately fun thing to do in that town. But, again, we'll get to that when we get to that. For now, we're going to the junkyard. Ugh. You people. What of you? Anyways, yes, about the world being empty, I tend to agree with him, and yes, that is a sort of showing of the budget. He said all the side quests kind of feel superfluous. The side quests are give and take. You know, there's some that I think are worth doing for the story, some give you items, like the thing that lets you ride the boar. But as far as the world being empty, while that is true, and... oh, fuck. Do I really need to check for a letter first? Son of a bitch. Game's telling me I do, based on that red X. Ugh. That's dumb, but whatever. As I was saying, yes, it is a limitation of the game, and it is to a slight detriment. I do think that the story supports sort of this big, empty world. You know, humanity is dying and it's being taken over by shades. And the boar is, like, there to help out and be cool, but most of the world is just shades and some animals. You know, that is what would happen if humanity dies. There would be little, what remains of towns set up. You know, see Seafront in our village and Facade and all that. I mean, the area, but that doesn't exist anymore. We kind of wrecked that place. Oh, for God's sakes. Whee! But yes, while... I feel as though story... To me, story and characters are the most important thing in a game. It's rare. Gameplay is, the defining factor for me. In shit like Just Cause, that's a notable exception. But, regarding gameplay versus story, gameplay's nice, it's fun, but, you know, I don't let it get in the way of my enjoyment of the story. Deadly Premonition. Gameplay is absolute shit, but it's a damn good story, so I still like the game. It could definitely be improved, but I still recommend the game because the story's great. With this game, the gameplay's fine. There's nothing wrong with the gameplay, per se. It's, you know, for a first outing by... well, it wasn't a first outing by these guys, but it was definitely a smaller portion of the team dedicated to this. It does feel very smooth, the combat and such. The movement's nice and fluid. The world is pretty small, and they just didn't have time to put that in. And it would have been better if there was more stuff in the world, if it felt bigger, but I think given the setting, it's not... I don't know if they did it intentionally, but it's a little bit defensible. I think it would be better if there was more stuff in the world, but there is justification for having the world be kind of empty, is what I'm getting at. You have a letter! This is to inform you... Dear Token, this is to inform you that you have an upgrade work on... The upgrade work on your weapon is complete. The weapon is ready and available. Pick up at your earliest convenience. I also have a more personal request to make of you. I only hope we can discuss it further once you arrive to pick up the weapon. Yours truly, Two Brothers Weaponry. Really need to stop calling yourself that. He's been pretty good to us. We might as well go and see what he wants. Off to the junk heap, then. Did we request for a weapon upgrade? I can't remember. Can't imagine why we would. The spear is all that we... Whoops. Spear is all that we need. What's your deal? I don't recognize you.
Hello.
Every single sprig of herbs is precious right now. I collect whatever I can find, but it's slow going. If you say so. So yeah, I think the world would be better if there was more in it. Val raises a good point that it feels kind of empty. I don't think that's the worst thing by any stretch. You know, there's a logical reason, I think, for it to be empty, so part of it's defensive, but the actual game itself, and this is the gameplay versus story, the gameplay does suffer from having an empty world. It feels very boring and kind of tacked on. The riding a boar being a notable exception. Bad example there. Oh, for God's sakes. I hate when they won't let me ride the boar. Riding the boar being the notable exception, but, you know, the empty world does add to the story and how humanity is dwindling and disappearing. But at that point, you're sacrificing gameplay for story, and that's not something I approve of. I also do not approve of sacrificing story for gameplay. I'm trying to think of a good example for that. Sacrifice of story for gameplay. So, if the game felt like... I can't remember the exact example, but I was discussing it with Fowl once again. Some of the bosses in Dark Souls 2 are kind of lame, and the fact that they even exist is questionable, but it makes sense for the lore. So, like, they're adding a boss fight that isn't very good just because it fits in with the lore. And my argument there is, I'm not going to say his arguments, mostly because I can't remember them. We didn't argue about this or anything, I don't think. But my argument was basically, first of all, you wrote the lore game, so you can just change the lore perfectly easily. But there's plenty of shit where the game would be better if this boss wasn't here, or this section wasn't here. But just to add length to the game, they put it in, because, you know, it's a game. And yeah, it's giving you more story, but it's hurting the gameplay as a result. So, nah, it's basically the same as Nier, isn't it? Whatever.
Hey there.
You get what I mean.
Your weapon is ready to go.
Your weapon?
Great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Two-handed sword, iron will.
You know, with a weapon like that,
You were going to say?
I need to ask you for a favor.
Oh, yeah?
I want you to avenge my brother.
That's a rather ponderous favor.
It's my mission. It's why I've been creating these weapons for the past 4 years. I don't care about money. I only care about making a weapon strong enough to kill those bastards.
What bastards?
The ones in the mountain. That little shade and his robot.
There are shades here?
Your brother was killed by a shade?
Yes.
And what have we decided? Hmm?
It's killing time.
Well, away we go. Technically speaking, his brother was killed by a robot. However, we are going... There, it is joined up with a shade, so we're gonna go kill them both. Since, you know, killing shades is the whole point. Sort of the cut of the jib, if you will. If I go for my usual hour and 20 minutes, we'll probably beat this level before then. And I'll have to start doing side quests. Yay! Everyone loves the side quests. Maybe I can do some of the fun ones. Do the grinding for other shit off screen. I think I need to head down into the mines. Or factory, whatever. I can't remember. I don't think it's where we fought the last boss. And see, this is a curious way, I think, that they were able to save money and, you know, still provide good content. So, Amber. So shit like this, where we're going back to the junk heap, but we're exploring a different part of it, they... You know, it's a different enough dungeon, you know? Like, there was no excuse for the text-based thing going on for as long as it did, even though it was optional after the first one. And, furthermore, the, Lost Shrine was exactly the same. It was just the Lost Shrine again. So that dungeon was a complete repeat. This one is at least different enough. We never really went back to the Temple in the Sands, so that was good. That might be able to be cleared with bombs.